Satya Dhamma Reflection on June 15, 2022. No is not know itself right away, child. In this way, it will purify, maintaining, and sinking of the mind. Let's go beyond disregarding. Don't be limited with just disregarding. Don't be limited with just disregarding. Otherwise, it will be drowsy and maintain. The disregard is not itself. Well with this. Let's not be limited with anything whatsoever. This is the great compassion. When it is boundless, it means that there is the great compassion. Let's not be limited with anything whatsoever, with just awakening in seeing and knowing, or with just extinction or not, disregarding or not. Proceed on without limits, with the great compassion. Continue onwards without limits. Not to be limited with anything whatsoever. The disregarding will not be limited with just itself either. No is not no itself. No is not the no itself, child. That is without limits. Not to be limited with just with titi, knowing, seeing, disregarding or not. The disregard is not itself. No is not no itself, child. This is boundless. Let's purify onward in this way. Continue to purify even the purification itself continuously.
ไม่ไม่ใช่ไม่เอง
The disregard is not itself fully. Go ahead, absolutely.
ทำไมไม่ใช่ไม่เองมันก็ไม่
When
ใช่ตัวมันเองอยู่แล้วลูก
it doesn't signify itself, it doesn't mean, it means that it is not at anything at all, not at the mind, not at anything. The disregard is not about anything.
ไม่ใช่ตัวไม่ใช่เอง
No is not no
ไม่ใช่
itself.
ตรงอะไรมันก็ไม่ใช่
Then
ตรงอะไรอยู่แล้ว
the mind will not fixate to anything whatsoever. This will be purification of the emptiness without limits.
แค่แล้วก็พบภูมิ
Don't be limited. Otherwise, it will be stuck with just being realm of existence.
กรรมวิบากกรรม
It will become karma and karmic difficulties right away.
แค่อะไรก็วนเวียนอยู่กับ
To be limited with anything,
แค่อะไรลูก
the mind will just be preoccupied with itself on and on. No is not no itself. Don't be limited. No is not no itself.
ไม่ใช่ไม่เอง
The disregard is not itself.
ไม่ใช่ไม่เองเลยลูก
The disregard doesn't signify itself. Well with it.
นั่นแหละไม่มีความแค่ล้างไปเรื่อยๆเรียกว่ามหา
This is the great compassion, purifying onwards without limits.
ไม่ใช่ไม่เองนะไม่จริงก็ไม่หน่อย
The disregard is not itself.
ไม่ใช่ไม่
Beyond disregarding,
ยิ่งก็เตือน
beyond
ยิ่ง
awakening,
ก็คล่องเลย
beyond
ไม่
brightening
ใช่
child.
เอง
No is not no itself.
และสรุปไปเรื่อยๆ
Let's continue to make a conclusion.
บ่หลอกล้างบ่หลอก
We still need to rely on the assumed to purify itself. Whatever that is karmic habits, which is the samutai, it is the limitations. It is actually the karmic habits of the delusive attachment of the samutai. Therefore, let's continue to purify to the reminders, which purifies itself. Then the mind will end all the limitations to itself. All these limitations to just looking, seeing and knowing. What is it called? It is still reserved itself. It is realm of existence in itself. This is still a karmic habit of the samutai, of the upatan. No is not no itself right away. Then it will be without limits by itself. To be limited with anything, it is like a frame, it is like a boundary. What is it that creating it? It is the upatan actually. Always grabbing, always fixating. This is the delusive attachment. When there is no limits in itself, but once it is created, it becomes narrow. This is the entrapment of suffering. Whenever there is a limitation, it becomes like an entrapment of suffering. The disregard is not itself. Don't be limited with just disregarding. The disregard is not itself. Has nothing in itself. Nothing is within the disregard itself. Nothing is within the non-attachment itself. Give no significance to the disregard itself. No is not no itself, child. Continue to purify onwards. No is not even no itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The disregard doesn't grasp itself, disregard even from the disregard itself. No is not even the no itself, child. Brighten our well, huh?
ไม่ใช่แม้กระทั่งไม่ใช่เอง
No is not even no itself, child. Shine out well.
จะไม่มีขอบเขตล้างไปเรื่อยๆ
This will be purification without limits, which is gonna continue onwards.
ปลดล็อกทิฏฐิก่อน
Let's unlock the tithi first, because there is stagnation within looking, seeing, and knowing.
สติที่ล้างสติเองเนี่ย
The reminder that purifies itself will unlock the tithi, the
ตัณหา
tithi of the delusive attachment,
ทรงเห็นทรงรู้
tithi of the desire, which is the maintaining
แล้วมันจะไม่มี
and sinking in its condition.
ไม่มีขอบเขตล้าง
Let's unlock it, then it will purify without limits all by itself.
สติที่ล้างกันเนี่ย
The reminder that purifies itself will unlock it.
ทานมันล็อกอยู่ว่า
The delusive attachment is lock it up. To be limited in such a way is the delusive attachment that functioning itself. This is the habit of the samutai.
ไม่ใช่ตัวไม่ใช่เอง
No is not no itself, child. Then it will not limit with just knowing or seeing.
ไม่ใช่อะไรในเห็นไม่
In
เห็น
this way, one will enable to not give significance to knowing or not knowing, seeing or not seeing.
รู้ไม่รู้เป็นไม่ใช่อะไรในเห็นไม่เห็นเป็นไม่ใช่ไม่เอาไม่ใช่เองลูกไม่ใช่ก็ไม่ใช่อะไรนี่ไม่ใช่เอง
Nothing is within know itself. No is not know itself. Let's end all details, huh? In all subtleties or crudeness. To be obsessed with just yes and thinking, there will be a lot of details that is clinging in various forms, in various conditions, because there's a lot of grabbing, a lot of clinging. Even a tiny bit is not the way, child. It's not the way. That's why no is not the no itself. In this way, it will discard the discarder itself. It will unwind from the unwind itself. No is not no itself, child. Unwind from the unwinding itself. That it will discard the blossoming state itself. Let's make a conclusion continuously. Purify the conclusion itself. It will unlock all that is already locked up in such details. The disregard doesn't grab itself. Nothing is within the disregard itself. The non-attachment doesn't signify itself. No is not no itself. If unable to give no significance to no, then it will be aligned with the essence that is not about anything as it is. Liberation doesn't grab itself. Non-attachment doesn't grab itself as it is. No is not no itself. This will purify all and everything.
ไม่ใช่ไม่เอง
Disregard doesn't signify
ตั้ง
itself
ดีๆนะ
end within no time like this.
ไม่ใช่แม้กระทั่งตัวไม่ใช่
No, not even know
ใช่
itself.
ตัวไม่ใช่
No is not know itself.
ไม่ใช่ไม่เองเลยลูก
No is not know
ใช่ตัว
itself,
ไม่ใช่
child.
เอง
Disregard is not itself.
ไม่แม้กระทั่งไม่เอง
Disregard even from the disregard itself.
ที่มันเปิดกว้างอยู่แล้วนี่ยิ่ง
The
สวย
opening
เลย
that is already
แบบเนี้ยหมด
widely
ไปเลย
is already nice. So conclude onwards in such a way.
สรุปไม่เอาสรุป
Because the conclusion doesn't grab itself anyway. Or the reminder doesn't grab itself anyway. When the opening is there, it's already nice. It just has something that is hidden for too long. The sinking within stillness and indifference, that kind of sinking, it is like a hidden place, individual hidden place. That will be unsmooth. Once the senses and sense perceptions is opening, there will not be any sustaining or keeping anything in. So the opening is nice. No is not know itself. Well with it. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. This is nice. This is the blossoming that discards itself. The unwinding that doesn't grab itself. This is nice. Opening is like this, not to be obsessed to reserve any manners or compose the mind or whatever. This is like having no habits of possessiveness. If there is the habits of possessiveness, it's impossible to give up these habits because this is a lot of habits. Maintaining, reserving, sustaining, controlling. This is the habit of possessiveness. Possessiveness within the aggregate, within the body and mind, is difficult to give up. Once the opening is there, there is no concern with being possessive or sustaining or not. This is nice. So the conclusion that purify itself simply. No is not know itself. This is blooming that discard itself like a lotus. There is no such thing as maintaining the blossoming. That's not yet aligned. Not yet. The blooming discards itself. Discard itself. The disregard is not itself. No is not know itself. Diligently make a conclusion to purify through the reminder more often. Otherwise, you get dull, on and on being dull. No is not know itself, child. Right away, there is no need to hesitate or regret to give up being clear or not clear within seeing or knowing. There is no need to regret to be clear with anything within the senses and sense perceptions. There is no need to regret to give up all the looking or seeing. There is no need to be concerned to give up, to not giving up anything. Let's not be concerned with being clear or not clear with anything. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. This will be spontaneous in purifying through the emptiness.
ม้กระทั่งไม่ใช่
No is not even no itself. This is not to throw away anything outwardly. Only the anupap, otherwise there will be clashes, contacts from the senses. That's not okay. This is not purification of the emptiness. Being obsessed to use the minds in certain ways. That which is not about disregarding. This is the purification of extinction, all the same to everything. Not to throw away the mind, to clash with anything. Through looking, seeing and knowing. Therefore, use the conclusion as blessing. No is not no itself. Don't be concerned with being clear or not clear with anything. Through the seeing or knowing. Because that is the senses that is clashing. Is the clasher. No is not no itself, not even no itself. This will soften down from clashing, and automatically it will turn into the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, there is no complication at all in this way. The disregard doesn't signify itself. Nothing is within the disregard itself. Basically, when you open up widely, it is nice. If there's a lot of maintaining and sinking of the mind, it will be unsmooth. Is being obstructed. If the opening widely is already there, it's nice. Each time that you make a conclusion, it proceeds simultaneously with samsara. No is not no itself simultaneously with the whole samsara. This is simultaneous blessing. This is not to force the blessing to proceed, to create difficulties there. Open up inside and outside that is already there. The more there is no paying attention to anything, then it's nice. Senses and sense perceptions don't grasp themselves. That is already nice. When there is no paying attention to being clear or not clear with anything, is nice. The opening that is already there, it will be a support. When the senses and sense perception doesn't grasp itself, that is nice. Keep opening widely. And with the conclusion of Nirodha Nibbana, uninvolved within the uninvolved itself is nice. The delusion, the detachment doesn't grasp itself. The liberation doesn't grasp itself. No fixation, even to the non-fixation itself. This is without flaw. This is given to samsara without flaw. When there is a concern with being clear or not clear, this is clumsy because there is grabbing. Therefore, no is not no itself. No is not no itself continuously. It will purify the clarity or non-clarity with seeing or not seeing. When there is no concern with being clear or not clear with anything, is nice. That is the opening that doesn't grasp itself. Disregard, even from the disregard itself fully, absolutely. Uninvolved within the uninvolved itself, absolutely. Disregard from the disregard itself, absolutely. It will purify. This will keep oneself to be drowned and also unlock. Even you are already worse in the worst situation, still it will unlock such a situation. No is not no itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Non-attached even to the non-attachment itself. That which is given is keeping oneself and samsara from being in the worst situation and even can untie oneself from such a situation. No is not the no itself. This will purify the sinking mind. If there is the opening widely towards the physical world, then it's simple, it's easy. If there is maintaining and sinking within one's own realms, it will be more difficult. Being obsessed to give significance and meanings and involvement, this is like a shell, always sinking in itself, moving in such a way of sinking. No is not even no itself. No is not the no itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. Where with it? This will not giving significance to itself. No is not the no itself. This is the blooming discard itself. The blooming state doesn't grasp itself. No is not the no itself. It means for samsara, na? For the whole samsara. For the whole samsara. This is not to be limited with just this here or there within this body mind or whatever. It is for all and everything. Don't be limited with just one's own brain or one's own body mind. No, it's not even the no itself. It's meant for the whole samsara.
ไม่ขยันสรุปล้างสรุป
without diligently make a conclusion to purify itself. One will just walk,
ไม่อยากจะบอกว่า
thinking
ควายเดิ
in
น
oneself on and on. Long Paul doesn't want to say that it is like a buffalo walking, always thinking in
ดูก็
itself.
แช่ดูรู้ก็แช่
Within looking or seeing, always thinking in everything. The disregard is not itself. Don't be limited with just the disregard. Don't regret to give up the mind or the titti, seeing or knowing. Don't regret to give up, to be clear or not clear with anything. Otherwise, there will be a limitation that happens on and on. If unable to disregard from the disregard itself is nice. No grasping for the senses and sense perceptions. No grasping mind that overlays. This is nice. Don't be concerned with just looking, seeing clearly or not clearly. This is the karmic habits of titti, of karmic habits of looking, seeing and knowing. This is the delusive attachment that cling within the titti, within seeing, knowing and looking. Being concerned with just being clear or not clear. This makes good sale in the for the spectacles. Long Paul asking a monk to take off the spectacles. Try to take off your spectacles. There is no need to try to be clear or not clear with anything. See if you can see anything. That's good. There is no need to emphasize on being clear with anything. So don't use your spectacles no more, huh? Later on you will be okay. All the clinging of the delusive attachment in the seeing or knowing is like that. The emptiness is not itself. The emptiness doesn't signify itself either. Don't be concerned with being clear or not clear. This is just to be used, to form up, to use, to utilize it temporarily. But you are clinging to it. You are deluded to be clear or not clear, sinking in being clear on and on. When you are clear with something, you're sinking in it right away and drown in it on and on. No is not know itself. Each time that there is a conclusion, it is to be shared to all and everything simultaneously. This is not for the sake of oneself. It's impossible to grab it. The conclusion must discard itself, it must purify itself. It cannot be grabbed. This conclusion must be given to samsara onwards. No, it's not even know itself continuously. This is the conclusion that is given, and to be giving further, not to be for the sake of oneself. Then there will not be a pitfall. Because of grasping, that's why there is a pitfall. All the Buddha words always being grasped. Therefore, it's become a pitfall. Whatever that is given is to be giving. Is to be given further. This is not to grab for oneself. When there is a grasping mind, it creates uneasiness, it creates a pressure because grasping towards something that is impossible to grasp.
สิ่งที่ไม่เกี่ยวกับไม่เนี่ยคือให้
Uninvolved with the disregard is to be used to conclude for samsara. This is the conclusion that is given for samsara, not for the sake of oneself.
เข้ามาไปเลยนะ
Go ahead.
ไม่ใช่ส
The
รุป
conclusion is
เอา
to be
ใครก็ตามที่
given
พยายามจะสรุปให้
not
ได้
to grasp
แล้ว
it
มันจะสรุปเอามันจะกดดันไปเรื่อยๆเลย
because otherwise it will create a pressure within oneself and you will look for
คือ
a
หาหลวง
doctor.
พ่อนั่นเอง
That means you look for หลวงพ่อ
หาหมอว่าไงคุณชายก็ไม่ได้ตื่นสายไม่ได้ตื่นสายเออถอดแว่นดูดิเห็นไหมไม่ต้องถอดอย่างเงี้ยเอาแบบไม่ต้องชัดไม่ชัดเนี่ย
Again, หลวงพ่อ asks another monk to take off spectacles because whenever you are being clear with something, you sink in whatever you are clear with. Sinking in, looking, seeing, and knowing. That is realm of existence. All lifetime, you're gonna be like that. Disregard is not itself. This is not about remember forever. Remember, forever remembering. That is a suffering. Huh? It's bygone in itself, but you don't yield to let it be bygone. The Nijang is always shifting and changing, bygone in itself in every condition, at all times. But when you sink in and being clear in seeing and sinking it, on and on, knowing, seeing, sinking it, that is being deluded to be clear with it. That's why you will not yield to let it be bygone when it's already bygone in itself. So, what is this? What is it about, you or it? Who is it that is not bygone? Let it be bygone. When there is a lot of details, it's because of a lot of desire and upatan. Even a tiny bit is not the way. The emptiness is not emptiness. So there is no need to give so many details in anything. This is because of a lot of delusion and desire. Continue to disregard even from the disregard itself altogether. Don't use the mind within the walking. Don't live the life like a buffalo. disregard, even from the disregard itself, simultaneously all together. When there is not much of attachment to the wisdom, is good. So disregard, even from the disregard itself, simultaneously, all together. It's nice, huh? In this way. When there's a lot of attachment to the wisdom within the titi, within looking and seeing. So disregard, even from the disregard itself, simultaneously, for all and everything, this will purify simultaneously, altogether, for everything. Don't pay attention to being clear or not clear with anything. Otherwise, there is no disregarding. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, continuously. You're more handsome when you don't have spectacles on. Disregard, from the disregard itself, simultaneously with the whole samsara, simultaneously. Don't be obsessed to grab it to your own brain. There is no true brain. This is the anatta. The elements of the anatta, temporary existence of the form and formlessness, body, mind. The disregard doesn't grasp itself. Don't be obsessed to sink in being clear with something on and on. Disregard. Give no significance to the disregard itself. Let's purify all the delusion to be clear or not clear. This is like a flea that cling to the skin of a dog. It's the same thing. Have you ever seen that? Always clinging to the skin. That which has nothing to do with being clear or not clear. Involved even within the involved itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. So there is no need to be concerned with being clear or not clear with anything. This will simply bypass everything easily. Remind yourself more often. When you sit, you become more in your comfort zone. Remind yourself like disregard from the disregard itself. No is not no itself. The disregard is not itself. Continue to use these reminders often. Don't use the life like a buffalo, always sinking, always sinking. All about the senses, even about the mindfulness, is like something that has no exit. The Buddhas gave all about cutting even the cutting itself. They always fixate to the Buddha words. Mindfulness is a narrow thing. The wisdom seems to be wide, but it's circling in itself, so it's narrow. To be stuck with just senses and sense perceptions is still narrow. It's limited. That which has no limits, which is boundless in itself.
ว่างไม่ใช่มันก็ทั้งว่างเอง
The emptiness is not even emptiness itself.
ฟังดีๆว่าง
Listen well.
ว่างเอง
The emptiness has no significance in itself. Don't think that there is something being empty or not. That is a tithi.
เป็นทิฏฐิ
It's a tithi. That's not okay.
ล้างไปเลยลูก
You have to purify instantly. Emptiness is not itself.
ไงcái không đấy nói là không sinh không diệt
ว่างของหลวงพ่อสอนคือไม่เกิดไม่ดับ
không đến không đi
ไม่ไปไม่มา
không tương không
เจ้าจะ
không đồng không cát สิ่งที่ไม่เกี่ยวเลยก็ดับ
This has nothing to do with arising or ceasing. It's not related to that. It's even uninvolved to itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved
ว่า
itself.
มันไม่ใช่ตรงที่เกิดดับไม่ใช่แม้กระทั่งไม่ใช่เองด้วย
No, it's not even no itself. This will be without flaw.
ถ้าว่าไม่ใช่ต้องเกิดดับแล้วก็ไม่ใช่แม้กระทั่งตัวไม่ใช่
You have the thought of that which has nothing to do with arising or ceasing. You have to also remind yourself of no, that is not no itself. This is without flaw.
รูปกับนาม
That which is not related to form or formlessness, arising or ceasing, being empty or not.
ไม่เกี่ยวเองด้วย
So uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself as well. This will be without flaw. Whenever you say anything, it becomes a tithi.
แต่นั้นให้เป็นทิฏฐิ
Therefore, let it become the tithi that purifies itself.
ประโยคไหนล้างประโยค
Any sentence that is pop
ไม่
up
ใช่ก็
purify itself at the same time.
หมดจด
When you say that this is not it, then you have to purify this is not it, as it is not about anything.
ยังไม่ต้องใส่แว่นหรอกไปอย่างนี้แหละไม่ต้องไปห่วง
Continue in this way. There is no need to be clear or not clear with anything. There is no need to be concerned with it. Then it will be okay for you. There is no need to use spectacles no more.
ตามอัดกันเนี่ยตามลังควานโอเคละอย่าแค่อะไรลูกจะแค่
Don't be limited with anything
เพราะเป็นภูมิ
because it will create realm of existence. It will be just blocked in such a way. Even disregarding, don't be limited with just that.
ไม่คือไม่ใช่ไม่
Disregarding means no limits. It is boundless. It has no significance in itself.
อย่าไปแค่
Therefore, don't be limited.
อย่าไปแค่ไม่เกี่ยวลูก
Don't be limited even just with uninvolved or disregarding or
เกี่ยว
no.
ตัวไม่เกี่ยวเอง
Uninvolved within the uninvolved itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. It is boundless.